Okay, so we are on assembly. So I took my rest of my remaining cotton thread, and this is probably overkill more than you need, but I always like to have a little bit more just in case, and I folded it in half so I can find my center point, because you're going to start from the center and work your way out. I'm just using a reference point, so for this one my center point's on my 8 inches, and I'm going to start with my Z, and I'm going to start with my tabs. Sorry. As usual, I just attended, I stopped for break for dinner, and then I attended a Sales Achievers party for Stampin' Up! And watched them make some cute projects. I did not join in and make the projects tonight because I didn't order the set because I wasn't sure I loved it. And so I wanted to see what they were gonna do and then decide if I was gonna order the set and I'll make them later, or I can not order the set and do something else, which is what I probably will do. So I'm not putting this all the way down, but then I'm going to take my string and go through here, and then I'm going to fold it in half and then use this. So I am using the green tip glue on this. It will hold, it takes a little longer, but we're just going to work our way out. But you should be able to move this back and forth for this, okay? So I've got my Z, and then I'm going to go to the left. So our next letter is going to be the A. Kind of determine where I have that. I'm going to pop all of my tabs out here so I have them ready. And you can see I'm just putting a line on the bottom. And again, I'm going to line that up right there. Get it about center. Pop that in there. And then a little glue right there. And drop that down. So we're just going to keep doing that, moving that along. I'm not overly worried that they're spaced appropriately or anything like that, because the fact is you're not gluing there, so you'll be able to move them. So I'm going to pop that on there. Oops, a little too far down there. What I am trying to be aware of is that I'm using like the same distance. It's not exact. It doesn't have to be perfect. But like that. So keep moving. Moving those. Oops. See? Pops up. You gotta hold it down for a few minutes just to let it catch. If you're having problems and you don't feel like it's catching, you can use sticky strip. Okay, and we're gonna again center that there, pop that down, put your cotton thread in there. Sorry, I was having a coughing attack earlier. Doing that. Oh my goodness, did I do? Oh, I did it right. Okay, I did do it right. Ooh, for a moment I felt like I was putting letters on in the wrong order. Oops, see, look at that pop up. You see that? That didn't want to stay down. We're gonna put some more pressure on that. If it doesn't stick, we can go ahead and add sticky strip to it. Okay. Next, I have all of my letters over to the side of me here. Okay, I'm just doing that. I was just on, that's call I was just on, someone was saying they are not a fan of green tip glue because they feel like it gets all over their fingers. It's actually one of my favorites. I do most of my cards with it. I probably use it more than that, and tear and tape are my two very favorites. I keep moving things over here so you guys can it stays on my screen. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. Oh, there it is. We had a See, this is what happens when you put your flowers together before they're dry. They do pop apart. I was like, we had a flower emergency there. This is why I kept my hot glue gun going. Anybody else fell apart? Oh, this one fell apart too. See, I was rushing these. We're gonna pop those in there. It really is best to do your flowers, let them dry fully before you put them together. I've had, my son is home from leave. He just got back from Europe. He was deployed for 9 or 10 months. And so he's here on leave. And so he's been here since Sunday. And I haven't really wanted to do my work. So doing things in the last minute. My grandkids all last weekend. So I apologize. But you know, sometimes I refer to myself as last minute Elizabeth. So that's just kind of how it goes. Okay. So you can see this is a lot of like rinse and repeat. It's the same thing over and over. Again, I'm gonna pop that on there. Put some pressure. Oh, hot glue strings. Hot glue strings are the death of me. Hot glue strings. Okay. Put this right here. Isn't this the cutest little thing? I ordered it off of Etsy. I love it. It's one of my favorite little things that I have. My little favorite things. Anyway, so there we go. We've got our banner all here. Your things removing between each one. And now we're gonna start adding ribbon. So I'm gonna start from the middle. You have all of this lovely ribbon that came in your pack. And I'm gonna start off with, first of all, the only place you're using this red is at the middle, but if you want to cut it down and do less, you can. Put that over there, out of my way. I lost my snips, so I have these really horrible scissors right here. Oh, located. Okay, so I'm gonna do about 10 inches of each of the other ribbons and then put my ribbon aside because we're just gonna kind of make a big bow. And if you want your bow to be more loopy, you can use more than that. Just so you know, some of the ribbons I've given you are just continued from my stash, but they matched and they were cute. And so I'm not going to judge those ribbons, but I am going, oh, this one, this is my last piece here. And I'm going to cut this. This is kind of what you can do what you want with this project, but this is kind of where I started. I created a little bow with all of these. Oops, save that one to the side. All of these. And I also used a little, so you don't need as much of the cotton twine as I gave you. So if you want to pull some cotton twine off of there too, I used a little bit of that. I'll navigate that over. But I kind of pulled that together and that's what I did. And I made a bow. So I tied it all together, see? And then I made a little bow. And then you can adjust this however you want. And I just attached it up here. You can tie a bow, you can do whatever you want here. I'm gonna put that on with a little bit of a glue dot, 2 or 3. I'm gonna grab a couple glue dots just so it has a little bit more. It's a pretty heavy bow. I want to make sure it sticks good. And then I'm just going to add that to the top of that. Okay. Then you have all of these other, this other ribbon. And I'm probably going to put one, like, I'm going to put one at the end on the A over here, right here, and then one on the end of the G. And then if you wanted to, you could put some If I put one in the end of the A and the G, and then maybe 1, 2, so you want to do 4. So you take the rest of your ribbon that you have here, and they all should be pretty close. And I'm going to start, and I'm going to cut that in half. And then I'm going to cut each of those in half if you wanted to. Or you can just put them on. Like if you wanted to, you could just tie it on here on the end. Or if you wanted to, you could add extra embellishments along the way. I'm just going to go ahead and tie, I don't know. I think I actually, let's cut these in half. Let's add a few along the way. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've cut it in half, and then I'm just going to tie it onto the cotton here. Just take them and tie them onto the cotton. It's going to kind of move along with it. Tie it. What happened here? This didn't get very far. Let's try this again. I seem to have made a mess of this one. Might be easier if you break it up. Okay, well, we're gonna put those aside. Power of video. I'm gonna go back and grab our other little ones. Green, pink, okay. This time I'm gonna make sure that I have my pieces even before I tie, because that's what I didn't do last time. And that vanilla and black gingham got locked up and not even. So if I was trying to untie that on video, that wasn't. And then now this will slide too to where you want it. So we said we're gonna do that. So let's go ahead and get these untied really quick, now that I'm not feeling the pressure of it all. Take these. So we said we're gonna do one here in between. The gingham giving me a hard time this time. It was the yellow, the curry one. So, okay. Put those through there. Make sure you have all of your loops. And let's pull that together. Okay. We have the one here, so we're going to do another one over here between the I and the N, but we need to cut all of our other pieces in half that we had left over. You know, and I'm kind of one of those more is more girls, not less is more. So if you don't like the overkill, you certainly do not have to go as crazy as I did. But that's kind of how I roll. So I hope that this is visual. I should have cleaned up my background. I'm like, oh, look at all my junk everywhere. My glue, my gun. Got a little crazy. That's kind of how I craft too. I kind of run amok while I'm crafting. I will notice that I probably need to, because I cut a little of that adhesive off, or that yellow, no, words, use my words. I cut a little bit of the cotton thread off, so I'm just gonna pull it and bring some more through. Just so it's more even on the other side while I'm doing that. And the way that we did it helped that it's easy to move. Okay, so keep moving and grooving. Okay, and then our last piece, and then I had that piece of red, so if you wanted to throw that on one of the sides, you could cut it in half, add it in there. You could add it wherever you wanted. I originally intended, because I didn't have as much of that red that was discontinued, that because I didn't have as much of it, I gave you what I could, and I only intended it for that middle section. So now it's hard to show this. move all this stuff out of the way. I'll get you with some good pictures that I will include in a PDF, but let's kind of clear our space here and share how this all comes together. So you might not see it all in the film view, in the camera view, but we have that. And then we have our little banner that we made earlier that said "You Are." And I have them, and I'll show you. I have them on my wall right next to my desk. They look at all day as a reminder. So thank you for joining me. I hope you love this. I got one more video for you. I'm going to share some of the cards from next month's class.